Good evening, everyone. My name is Virginia Harger, Chairperson of the Shelton Planning and Zoning Commission. Today is Tuesday, November 9th, and the regular meeting of the commission is being conducted entirely via Zoom, is hereby called to order. Good evening, everyone. My name is Virginia Harger. Peter is having trouble connecting. Alex, I just got a text message.
Okay.
So tell him you're looking into it.
I'm not sure what else I can do. Everyone else seems to.
You know what, let me just send him a message. Is he trying the link from the email?
The link's fine. Everyone else got in the link, right?
Must be on his end.
Gotta be.
No. Another thing you could announce.
The meeting started, Ken.
Okay. I just asked him.
All right, I just sent that to him. All right, in any case, the protocol for today's meeting was previously reviewed by Corporation Counsel, who indicated to me it is compliant with the executive orders issued by the governor and fair for those watching from a remote location. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'll start off with the roll call. And please verbally indicate you are present when your name is called. Commissioner Kelly,
Present.
Commissioner Parkins,
Present.
Commissioner Motto,
Here.
myself, Commissioner Harger, Commissioner Ticky.
Present.
Hey, you are good. Commissioner Wodomski.
Here.
Thank you. Alternate Commissioner Lascos is still trying to connect. And alternate Commissioner Usel.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Rossetti, our administrator.
Present.
Mr. O'Neill, our assistant administrator and ZEO.
Here.
Mr. Panico, our consultant.
Here.
Ms. Renassos, our recording secretary.
Here.
Okay, anyone else to be acknowledged? I don't see anyone else on the screen. Okay. Couple of points before continuing with today's agenda. This is the commission's 50th meeting being done via a live streaming process. Mr. Rossetti will act as a Zoom meeting host. While commissioners will be able to make comments throughout the meeting, the chair asks that you please identify yourself and wait to be recognized by the chair before speaking to make sure we're not all speaking over each other and to make sure our recording secretary is clear as to who is speaking. And as the chair, I have the prerogative of taking things out of order. And I just do want to jump to something I had prepared for chair comments. But one of the things I want to point out, as I mentioned before, this is the last meeting of the existing commission, and we do have a change in membership. First, I would like to thank Commissioner Wodomski for his service on the commission. Second, as a result of our municipal election on November 2nd, I'd like to congratulate Commissioners Parkins and Commissioner Ticky on their re-election as regular members. Alternate Commissioner Lascos on his election as a regular member. Alternate Commissioner Usel on his re-election as an alternate commissioner. And Mr. Dan Onofrio on his election as an alternate commissioner. Swearing in ceremony is Tuesday, November 16th, 6 p.m. at the Senior Center. And the first meeting of the new commission will be Wednesday, November 17th. I was informed by City Hall that letters for those that need to be sworn in have been going out. So if you have not received a letter by the end of the week, I would give Cindy Burke a call in the mayor's office. She will take care of that. Everyone on the commission and family and friends are all invited to attend. It is an open swearing in ceremony. So going on to our meeting, the first item on the agenda are applications for certificate of zoning compliance. And the first 4 items are for signs, and they were on the agenda in October. They were tabled. Okay, and I just want to acknowledge for the record, Commissioner Laskos has joined the meeting. Commissioner Laskos, you were on mute, so if you could just unmute yourself and indicate that you are present. Just tell him to unmute himself. Okay. But until that happens, we'll go on. So the first one, first of all, Commissioner Matto, did the zoning subcommittee meet to review the 4 signs?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed Commissioner Laskos, you've unmuted yourself. Could you just identify yourself that you're present?
Oh, he just left.
Oh, I just lost him. Okay, well, we'll go back. Okay, so Commissioner Matto, would you be able to make comments as we go through each of the 4?
Sure.
Okay,
I have some notes also, Commissioner Amato.
Yeah,
You need-
that'd be very helpful, Josh.
very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is application 5192 ABC Sign Corp. CC 434 Howe Avenue for a sign. So is there an applicant present, or is staff going to make the presentation?
I can do the presentation, but I think Larry is here representing the applicant. Yep.
All right. And do we have some items to show on the screen?
Yeah, I can share my screen. You'll have to give me a minute to pull it up. You have it, Alex?
Yeah, it's scrolling.
All right. Yes, this is for CC Cafe. This is on the left hand side of the building. So during the sign committee meeting, basically all that we did was, so the 2 CC window signs that are obviously in the window, the circular decals, we would consider that 3 separate wall signs. So the consensus that we came to at the sign committee meeting was to have one sign, one of those circular logos on the door as a directional sign to let people know where the entrance is, and keep the sign up on the wall above the door the same. So there were no issues with the sign above the door, but remove the 2 logos, decals, if you will, on the windows, and put one by the door as a directional sign. And I just want to note that if they came in the future for any permanent window signs they'd want to put on those windows, they'd have to come back before the commission.
Okay. Does any of the commissioners have any questions? Okay. So does any commissioner want to make any kind of motion on this particular application?
I think I'll just make one comment. We looked at the building as a whole, so we
Mhm.
might look at the next sign and the comments about this sign that's already there and look at the building as a whole. But I think I would make a motion to approve this sign if you want to do it.
Separately. Yeah, it's a separate application, but
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think the picture is very revealing as to how it would fit in, the 2 signs fit into each other.
Yeah, I'd also like to add that I was in contact with the owner of the business, the Helpful Home Buyers, which is all the way on the right-hand side. He indicated he would move. He already had planned on moving that sign down to the same level that these signs were.
Mhm.
And he's in the process of working with the sign company to get it to be more uniform with those two signs. So it would be, you know, sort of a darker background with the white writing instead of
Mhm.
white on dark. So he's in the process of doing that. And as soon as I have the drawings, I will, you know, send them to the sign committee and you guys will see them.
Also, Josh, did you communicate our preference about the window decals? Was there any problem with making that change? Of
What do you
putting
mean
the
by that?
putting the one round sign on the entry door? Did they have any objection, the applicant?
I don't
No
believe so. I haven't
objection.
heard anything to, you know, counteract that. But I mean, we could definitely classify that. It would fit more in line with the regulations as a directional sign on the door versus having three of the same sign basically on the same
I
frontage.
wondered if you had been in touch with them or if they knew that this is what we were requesting.
Yes.
I haven't been. I know Larry must have talked to the applicant at some point after our meeting last Friday.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Larry.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
I'm sorry.
Larry.
I'm having trouble with my webcam. I wasn't sure. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, the customer has no problem with putting that on the door. And as the sign committee, as the sign committee, here we go. Thank you. As the sign committee has requested, if they want any additional graphics on their windows, we will make a new application.
mhm. Okay. So just for application 5192, we have the large sign above the doorway and just one circular sign on the door itself, no window signs, and the understanding if the applicant wanted to add anything, they would come back before the commission.
Commissioner Parkins will make that motion.
Okay. All right, is there a second?
Nope, go ahead.
All right, so on the motion to approve application 5192 with the changes of a single sign above the doorway, a circular sign on the door, and no window signs, made by Commissioner Parkins, seconded by Commissioner Ticky. We'll do a roll call. Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Wodomski,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion has been approved by a vote of 6-0. The other one for the other storefront is application 5193 ABC Sign Corps for Polaris Crystals, 438 Howe Avenue. What does the sign committee have? Any comment?
So the applicant and the sign company, Larry, from ABC Signs, they adjusted the font, if you can tell, for the crystals part to match what Bubble Tea Cafe says. So it's more uniform. And then the only other stipulation that we had was that the multicolored diamonds or whatever you want to call it in the windows there have to, by regulation, be 25% of the window area or less. So that max is 25%.
Mhm.
So as long as, you know, it's that 25% mark, there were no issues with the sign.
Okay. So there is a reduction in window space on the,
Right, yeah, I did a rough calculation of it and it came out to just over 25%.
Mhm,
So I mean, maybe they reduce it by a couple dots or whatever you want to call them.
mhm.
But yeah, that was the only stipulation.
Okay. I think it's a very creative kind of design there. All right, any commissioners have any questions? Larry, do you have any comments for the commission on this particular sign?
No, I think Josh has outlined it well. Thank you.
Okay. All right, is there any commissioner that would like to make a motion on application 5193?
I'll make the motion
Okay, motion to approve, Commissioner Motto?
to approve, yes.
Okay, is there a second?
Commissioner Parkins will second.
Okay, so on the motion to approve application 5193 made by Commissioner Motto and seconded by Commissioner Parkins, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Wodomski,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
and Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion has been approved 6-0. Okay. Next one is application 5194. Bishop Development, Bushy Band, 762 River Road. Is staff going to make comments? Sign
Yep.
committee? Anything?
Alex, do you want to pull that up or do you want me to pull it up? I got it.
Okay. Commissioner Amato, did you have any comments to start off with?
Well, I say our discussion was really about the red background at night. And so a question about, we had stipulated on this PDD that the signs should be consistent. So I think, Josh, you were going to get back to us on that. Whether there was part of the PDD resolution that the signs had to be consistent with each other. So the applicant really wants the red at night, and we I think pretty much thought that would be okay if we had not had a restriction within the original resolution.
Mhm. Okay, so Mr. O'Neill, do you have any update on that?
Sorry, Josh appears to have had a technical glitch.
Okay.
So the update on the sign here, let me just pull up the email. Come on. Excuse me. Too many screens up. Okay. So as previously stated, the applicant is particularly interested in keeping the red highlighting up behind the area, but according to our permits and Patty, which is also on that block, there is no backlighting on the other signs in that development. So if the commission wanted to keep a uniform aesthetic in the PDD, they could say backlighting is not permitted in that PDD. However, if there
Well, I don't think we can backdate that request.
Pardon?
I don't think we can backdate that request. I mean, it depends on what was decided when this was approved.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So did someone look at the original resolution?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
So the resolution states that there's no mention of signs. Yeah, there's no mention of signs or an overall signage design plan in the resolution. However, the statement of use states that they are permitted as approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunately a little vague in that regard. However, if we go by kind of our typical signing standards and regulations, and by the state statute, we can govern lighting, height, size, location, but not the color of the sign itself. However, there is some leeway with aesthetic and uniformity. And given that this is a PDD, the commission.
But it wasn't stated in the PDD. I don't think.
It was not.
Yeah, so that is not the case, that we can make that requirement now if it wasn't in the original resolution. I understand.
I would disagree with that, Commissioner Amato. I think because it wasn't dictated in the resolution that they had to submit a uniform signage plan. That kind of, it takes away a little bit of what we can dictate. But again, this is a PDD and we have much more control over PDD than we do a normal development that's as right. So I would agree that we have the right to say that we would like to keep it somewhat uniform, but we have discretion. So, if we don't want, if they want to keep the logo as they have it and the bushy band and that typeface, but the rest of them aren't backlit. So if we don't, as a commission, don't feel that it should be backlit because the rest of them aren't, and it's going to be intrusive, then I think we have the right to say no. That's my personal opinion.
That's a
Yes,
fair.
Commissioner Wadomski, I agree with Commissioner Parkins on that. Because it wasn't exactly what she said. It does give us leeway, in my opinion.
Mr. Panico, were you about to say something?
No, I was simply saying that Ruth's comments are very appropriate. That is a determination you can make.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm back, by the way. So I drove by there tonight, and the Parker Restaurant and Fatty Patty are both front lit signs with white. So there's no other signs in that PDD, including the building and back with the orthopedic specialty group, that have that sort of backlighting onto the building.
Okay.
When you say front lit, Josh, what do you mean by front lit? Like boost lamps
So
or
the
something?
sign itself is the white LEDs are shining out instead of, backwards like the red is on this application towards the building.
The
Got it.
lettering is illuminated.
The letters are illuminated.
Correct.
Correct.
So if
Okay.
they illuminate the letters and have them be red, they could do that, it sounds like, rather than having the shadow lighting.
Behind it.
Yeah, Is that-
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't see why not.
What colors are the other two signs, Josh?
Fatty Patty's white and so is Parker.
And the orthopedic, I think they have some color.
Orthopedic is red, blue, and white.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that from the street, but
No.
It's just the backlighting is the type of illumination versus the color itself.
yeah, okay.
I would like to see some uniformity. So if the two prior tenants already have a design style, then new tenants should continue along that way. So, Mr. Rossetti, could you check to see if Mr. Lascos is in the guest section?
He is. I've been clicking on his name to promote him constantly, but for some reason doesn't want to go through.
Okay, I'll let him know.
See if it goes.
So I guess the recommendation would be to have the bushy band be white lettering. Is that what would be conform with the rest of the signage there?
Is it white? Because the Fatty Patty, isn't it a white panel? So their lettering must be black, I'm guessing. Like this,
That's what I guess that's what I'm asking.
yes.
Their lettering is white.
Josh, do
is?
you want to
At
share your
night, at least.
screen?
Sorry, what?
Do you want to share your screen and just show them? If you can.
I
quickly.
don't have that up. No, I drove by it.
No, but the Fatty Patty sign.
Yeah, let me see if I have it up.
Are they internally illuminated letters or is it a sign panel?
Says
Yeah,
it's a-
Fatty Patty.
Internally illuminated letters.
Individual letters, okay.
Mhm.
They do. No, I don't have it up now. Everything reset when my computer turned off.
I just Googled Fatty Patty. The Fatty Patty letters are black, right? And then when it gets lit up, it is a white lettering
At night, correct. Yep.
But it is
A white halo?
I'll try to pull it up.
Commissioner Tiki, I think Commissioner Parkins was asking, is it a white halo at night?
no, it is the letters shine as a bright white. It's not a halo light behind them.
Okay.
But they're black letters during the day?
Yes, it's a black. I just pulled it up. They're
It
built
is.
black letterings.
Okay.
Interesting.
So is Parker as well. It's black letters.
All right. All right, well,
The elevation that we're looking at, is that the elevation facing the street?
yes.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Neal, do you have something to show us? If not,
Yeah, I do. I'm just waiting for it to open.
okay. All right.
So if Fatty Patties are black letters, what is the sides white? And it brings out the lettering?
That's
Is that-
amazing.
Is that how it is?
That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
picture.
This commissioner,
Yeah.
I don't have a photo
Nighttime?
of it lit. I just pulled up a photo of the current building.
Yeah,
But from driving by it, I recall those are white letters at night.
Mhm.
I think it's back.
Guys, this is Brian with Archer. No one's speaking up, so I just want to just throw in there that letters, it's called day-night acrylic. You put white lights behind it, and it's black during the day. And when the lights come through the acrylic, it turns white.
That's right.
There's also a film that they make, 3M makes, that it's perforated. So there's small holes that allow the light to
Okay.
pass through the black. So they're white at night, black during the day. That's likely what's going on.
Okay.
Sorry.
thank you.
Could they have black during the day and red at night? Same principle?
I don't know if you can do black and red. If you did the perforated film, possibly, because the light, when it passes through the holes in the perforation in the vinyl, it allows whatever light to overpower the black.
Okay, I see.
Right.
Can you see it now?
Yeah,
I just don't know that red would overpower past the black. I've never tried it.
Yeah. Thank
okay.
you.
So this is the Fatty Patty
Mhm.
sign. So yeah, it's black during the day, but at night, the letters are internally illuminated, like Brian said. They allow the white to pass through.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I think with the logo, they definitely will have a presence there in that building. I personally don't see any reason for us to introduce another style, color. So,
Well, it's really the style of the backlit.
yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think-
but have black letters during the day, which they have, and white at
Mhm.
night, certainly be very visible for them. And I
Sure.
think that would meet their requirements. Yeah.
And they have their logo
Mhm.
as well. So is there anyone that wants to make a motion on application 5194?
Do we want to hear from Brian, the applicant, on this decision?
It's Larry for this one.
Oh,
Oh,
Larry?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Larry, are you there?
Okay, guess not.
That's why I spoke.
hang
That's
on-
why.
Hang
I
on
don't.
1 second. I booted him out. I didn't know he was representing this application. It's my mistake. Give him 1 second.
Sure.
Hello.
Sorry about that, Larry.
We can hear you.
I appreciate Brian jumping in for me, but he was correct. I'd like you to consider a couple of things. One, obviously the owner of Bushy Van wants to make this a successful business. He's put in a lot of money to get this up and running. He's gone around town and he's looked at a number of buildings that have multiple tenants, and most of them, the tenants have individual signs that are not like their neighbors. This is a PDD, so it's up to you guys to decide, but he feels very strongly that he needs a stronger presence, and the red would do that for him. I've never tried doing the dual color with red, but we could give it a shot and see if that works for him. So if you would allow me, we will back off on the halo lit, and if you will allow, we'll do a dual color film. So the sign will look black during the day, like Fatty Patty and Parker's, but at night, there'll be a red light coming through the letters instead of white.
I really don't understand how that's going to give him any more business.
It's Commissioner Wodomski.
Go ahead, Commissioner Adamski.
This is just my opinion. A sign is not going to make or break his business. It's going to be his business style and his reputation that's going to make or break that business. The sign is just identifying that that's where the building is, in my opinion. And no matter what kind of fancy sign you have, it's not going to make or break a business. It's going to be his reputation and doing whatever he does, and he does it well. That's where he's going to get his footing in the door.
Mhm. I think continuing the style that's already on the front of the building is a much cleaner look. And I think especially on a new building that that we should encourage applicants to continue that style. What is there, one or two more storefronts? This does not complete the occupancy of this particular building, correct?
There are two storefronts in the middle. We've gotten
Okay.
business occupancy permits for both of them. One is Orthopedic Specialty Group. They're moving up from the back building to do a walk-in clinic. In the middle portion, the other half of the middle portion is going to be a pizza restaurant. I don't yet have any signed drawings for those two places, but I know, you know, as you can see from Orthopedic Specialty Group in the back, they're red, white, and blue. The pizza restaurant, I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything from them yet. So, I mean, I guess it basically comes down to the Bushiban being red or the sign being red, you know, front lit versus having the backlighting shine on the building.
Right.
You know, the other concern that I have is that when we did the signs for Parker and also for Fatty Patty, we were not notified, nor were the businesses notified, that there was a signed plan for this building. It just happened that way. Howard Safan didn't specify that there had to be a signed plan. And unfortunately for Bushiban, nobody told him either.
So nobody
will do-
checked.
Right, but
We
I
will
think
do
that's something
what-
that the
we will do
PDD
what you want,
regulations.
but you know, when Orthopedic Specialty Group moves up front, that is going to, if you tell them they can only have black letters with white lit faces, you'll probably be in court with them because they are very, very protective of their logo.
That's Commissioner Wadowski.
Go ahead.
Having driven around a good portion of the state of Connecticut and now New York State, I've driven by many plazas, and there are many, many, many plazas in both Connecticut and New York State that are required to have the same uniform signs, whether they're a huge brand like a Dunkin' Donuts down to a mom and pop shop. I mean, it's what you're allowed to do as part of your zoning regulations. And if our zoning regulations support what we're making our decision on, then that's our decision to make that.
Oh, yeah, we've done signs in many places ourselves that have a sign plan, but this is all discussed up front, and the tenants know that when they move in.
Well, it's really not the commission's fault that Mr. Safan didn't encourage the applicants to come up with some sort of, or at least apply before they rent the business, as if you're saying that without the red, he's not going to do well there. I don't know that if he was not allowed the red before he rented it, would it have stopped him from renting the location? I don't think so, but I understand your concern, but I think you folks, both Brian and Larry, you've done a lot of business before this commission, and you've done a lot of work on PDDs as well. So I think you're hearing a consistent message from the commission.
Yeah.
That's an issue between the landlord and the potential tenant of disclosing everything that needs to be said, you know, and when you're negotiating a contract, and perhaps the tenant should have asked those questions as he was going through the negotiation process.
I understand that, but yet I hate to disagree with you, Mark, but the signs are just not wayfaring so people can see where they are. Signs are an image, and how they're presented to the public can make a big difference in the traffic that business has. So that's why the owner wanted something that made him stand out, that made him unique from his neighbors, especially for people driving down the street.
Well, I don't think
I'd like to try the red dual color if you'll allow that. I understand you don't want the halo lit, the backlit, but let the man have his red face at night.
I would be in favor of that kind of compromise. I think when the orthopedic company comes up, they're absolutely going to want their typical signs, and same with the pizza restaurant, I can see that being red, but I,
Commission ought to ask for a composite elevation of the 4 signs. The one that's there, the one that's proposed, and the ones that are in the immediate future.
Mhm.
And
So-
then they can base their decision accordingly. I'd hate to see the commission take a hard position on the red, only to find out that they've got a problem with the orthopedic people that want red.
Mhm.
Now what do you do?
So
Right,
Mr.
and then
Bianco,
somebody else wants purple, and then somebody else wants teal, and then we look like a rainbow building.
Well, that's why I think if you saw a composite elevation, perhaps you could say this is what it's going to be.
Right. I think one thing important to mention is the state statute allows for commissions to regulate illumination and types of illumination, but not necessarily color.
Color.
So types of illumination, meaning the halo lit versus front lit, that sort of thing. So in terms of, colors of signs, such as orthopedic specialty group, we can go back and forth all day. But types of illumination is one thing that you definitely can, and that's where the backlit comes in.
Mhm.
Okay, fair enough.
So should we table this and until we get a composite, as Mr. Panico referred to?
I don't think the other
No, I
two,
don't
the other two
think
tenants will be ready for another month or so. So I think that'd be pushing it out too far, if I might say.
So Josh, just make sure I understand this correct. We can control the backlight of the sign.
You can control illumination, how it's illuminated, not necessarily
can control the color.
height, the position, where it is on the building, but not necessarily the color and contents.
Right, the color meaning that if this is their logo, that's fine. You can put it up, but
Correct.
during the night when it's illuminated, we can control what colors are illuminated.
That's where it gets kind of into a gray area, whether, type of illumination, the statute says illumination. I can pull it up. It says, location, height, and illumination is basically what the statute says.
We can't dictate color, so.
No.
Yeah, but if the sign is, I guess my question is going to be, if it's a black sign during the day.
Illumination means how it's illuminated, not necessarily the color that's illuminating, if that makes sense.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you.
So with front lit
Or
versus
brightness,
the
for
halo.
example.
All right, my sense is that, and you could, all the commissioners can speak up, but the halo sign is not what we're looking for. We would prefer to keep it in line with what's already there. So that settles the illumination. The color one, as Mr. O'Neill has indicated, we cannot control. So it seems like the only option we have is the applicant would be getting the sign as designed, but without the red rear illumination, and instead it would be a red lettering at nighttime.
he could do, it sounds like he could do either as long as they're internally lit. If we're going to say, we want to have consistent with Fatty Patty, which are internally lit letters, he could try for, as the sign designer is saying, he could try for black letters during the day that would shine red at night, but he
Right.
could also go with red, right?
But not the halo that is on the
Right.
screen.
Correct, red
Yeah.
lettering.
Yeah,
Right.
red lettering.
You could have
Exactly.
red all day long, right? But internally lit, if he wants them lit at night.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It would be done the same way as Fatty Patty and Parker is, except at night, his letters are red, not white. Is that,
Or they would be red all day. I don't know, because we
No.
can't color. If he
No,
could have-
during the day, they'd be black,
no,
just like everybody else.
if it works that way, right? If it works, since we
Correct.
can't control the color, you're going to try to see if you can do black during the day that would be internally illuminated like Fatty Patty, but show red instead of white.
That's
Mhm.
correct.
Okay. All right, any further questions on this? Does everybody understand? Is there any commissioner that would like to make a motion on this application 5194?
Commissioner Parkins will make that motion.
Okay, Commissioner Perkins, you want to give the mission, it's a approval with what conditions?
Sure, the approval will be based on the lettering as shown in the drawing black letters and logo during the day, and at night it would be lit. The letters would be lit red.
Mhm.
Internally.
Internal.
Okay, and that includes the circular logo as well.
Right, with no backlighting
No,
or whatever you're calling it,
the halo effect.
the halo, with no halo.
Right. All right, is anyone want to second this particular motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve application 5194 to have, made by Commissioner Parkins, seconded by Commissioner Kelly, to have the lettering as shown. If the lettering would be black during the day and red at night, no halo effect whatsoever for the two words or the circular logo. All right. So on that motion.
What happens if,
there a
what
question?
happens if the sign can't be done away? Yeah, it's Commissioner Wodomski.
Well, I think it would be
What
either all
happens
white
if
or all red.
the sign can't be done the way we just described?
Then they have to come back to the commission.
Right.
We're only
Okay.
approving these parameters. And if they cannot do that, then they have to revisit their design and come back to the commission. Okay. All right. So Commissioner.
Unless
Kelly-
they choose to go white.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So would we be better off taping it?
No,
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 let's go ahead. I think let them,
let them work it out in the sign shop. And if there's a problem, then they can come back to us.
I think it's a fair compromise.
Mhm.
I do too.
Okay. All right. So let me start the roll call. Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Radomski. Commissioner Radomski,
I think you said aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Radomski, okay, perfect, got that one. And the chair votes aye, so the motion to approve has been passed 6-0. All right, next, fourth application is for certificate of zoning compliance, it's Archer Signs, Marketplace, 811 Bridgeport Avenue for a sign. And Mr. Vassar, are you here to,
I am here.
okay. Staff, does Mr. Vassar want to start off, or do you have any comments? Commissioner
start it
Motto,
off.
do you have anything from the sign committee first?
No, no, I think if Josh can go through it, I think this is pretty much what we had discussed at our regular meeting in terms of the signs facing Bridgeport Avenue, as you see in this illustration.
Yep.
The pole-mounted sign is just a replacement of the sign that was there. So we were advised that that's an existing non-conforming use that they can keep.
Mm-hmm,
And then I think there's a sign on the side of the building.
mm-hmm. Okay, so the
So
front elevation, start with that one, Mr. O'Neill?
Yep. So basically, if you remember from last month, they had the MP meatball, as Brian calls it, over the door here on the side. They moved that to the front, moved this lettering down. I think it looks great like this, honestly. So basically, they have two wall signs on two different frontages. This is the frontage facing Bridgeport Avenue. And I will scroll up one page. This is facing the parking lot. So it's the same lettering without the meatball facing the parking lot. And as Commissioner Motto just said, that we got a ruling, so to speak, from Corporation Council saying that this is the pylon or freestanding sign is a pre-existing structure. And as long as they're not changing the size, location, lighting of it, they're basically just changing the lettering with the wooden background, that it would be, allowed to stay as is.
Okay. Any commissioner have any questions? I know there was a concern as to the meatball was over the doorway to show the doors to go in. So maybe the applicant might want to do something similar to what we just talked about for downtown for CC, that they would have theirs, instead of two circular decals on the windows, there would be one on the door. So
Well, the side sign is right beside the door, so
Yeah.
The door is
But the
right
door's right
behind this
there.
dumpster right here.
Yeah, they're
no,
90,
it's pretty hard not to know
degrees.
that that's the door to the restaurant.
you would hope so. Seeing that people patronize Ruby Tuesdays a lot.
Right, but if they chose to put that MP on the door, it would be, I think, would be considered a directional sign anyway, so I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Exactly. All right, any further questions, comments, concerns for application 5208? Okay, so is there anyone that wants to make a motion on this particular application?
Commissioner Ticky, I'll motion for approval.
Okay, and is there a second?
Commissioner
second.
Parkins will second.
Is that Commissioner Parkins?
Yes,
Okay, all right. All right, so on the motion to approve the revised signage for application 5208, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Wodomski,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
aye.
and the chair votes aye. Motion is carried 6-0.
When do they open? Do you know? They have an opening date?
Well, they're shooting for Thanksgiving, I think. Sam, if Sam's still on the call, he could probably answer better, but that's the last I heard.
So it's soon. That's good.
Well, best
It's
of luck
soon.
to them.
Yeah, well, I think everyone, well, I know I'm happy that it's coming. I've been trying to go to the one in Newtown for ages and never quite made it, but I heard it's great.
Good.
But I can tell you the operators that are running this thing are top notch. So we're lucky to have them.
Very good. All right, now moving on. Next is application 5271, Thule Corp., 710 Bridgeport Avenue for business occupancy. Mr. Rossetti, who's going to make presentation on this?
Stuart, would you like to share your screen, or I can share my screen? What's easier for you? You're still on mute. Hang on.
Why don't you go ahead and share your screen and I will present.
Okay, I'll just go through a 60-second spiel then. As members of the commission may remember, there was a proposal before us a while ago for a company called Gary Line Plastics that was going to occupy a back quadrant of the property at 710 Bridgeport Avenue, also known as the Perk and Elmer site. They are not moving forward with their move due to just some internal
Changes in a
issues.
business plan.
Exactly. So there is a new tenant in town named Thule Group, which I would assume most of you are familiar with. They make nice bike racks and roof back boxes and all sorts of recreational equipment for vehicles, etc. And they would like to set up a assembly / manufacturing, warehousing, some office situation back here, very similar to the types of uses we're accustomed to seeing at this location. So again, here's the site plan. I'm sure we're all quite familiar with both the ongoing other proposals before the commission and previous ones. Let me see. So this area here kind of fits into this back quadrant, and I think there was a better
Colored one.
Yeah,
The first picture
yeah.
actually is shows the warehouse space. It's kind of in the wrong orientation.
Oh, that's right. It's flipped around. So this gray area here, if we, it's going to rotate the whole thing.
Yeah.
But this upside down L shape fits in up. Oh boy, I'm getting everybody confused.
Get back to the way it was.
It fits in up
Right
here.
down and backwards.
It's this quadrant up here.
Yep.
And staff does not have any issues with recommending the commission take action on this item. It's really something that's a pre-existing use
Mhm.
But we just wanted to bring it before the commission kind of for your blessing and so you guys know what's going on here. They've kind of shown us roughly kind of how it's going to be broken down into their kind of shipping and receiving areas, their storage room, assembly area, office area. And then they've also given us a statement of use to kind of give us a breakdown as to how much acreage their footage they're taking up, the shifts that they have. And then hopefully, if things go well for them here in Shelton, we can continue to attract more of their business. But with that, I'll turn it over to Stuart, or if any of the commissioners have any questions.
I was just going to ask that anyone else needs to identify themselves for the record and for minutes and our secretary.
Yes, I
Can
guess
I-
I do.
Question though, this building you're taking part of the building, is the rest of the building vacant so far or occupied? What's going on?
It's Perkin Elmer's building that they had warehouse space, and this is the company that would be coming in to fill the space.
But not all of it, right?
No.
It's Sweet Bee. Look, if Alex put that one there. So there's Perkin Elmer on the right in blue. The middle space is what was vacant. Panorama Industries is Suite A. So, and if you're on this particular picture, the orientation is Bridgeport Avenue is to the right and Route 8 is to the left.
Okay, so this would fill the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's Thule, huh? I've never known that.
Thule, yeah, they're up in Seymour, I think now, but they're.
Well, I know the product. I just
Mhm.
you have that. I'm
Mhm.
happy to know that.
Okay.
Are they moving? Well, maybe the applicant will discuss that. I'm curious whether they're moving here from Seymour or if they're expanding and just opening additional space.
Yeah, we'll let the applicant go ahead with that. So,
Yep.
sir, just identify yourself and go ahead.
Yes. So my name's Stuart Sommerero. I'm the Director of Manufacturing Engineering at Thule Group here in Seymour. And so thank you very much for having me here tonight. We're growing, so we need more space. And so we said, we've looked around and we said we looked at several places in Shelton, and this space kind of caught our eye. And the purpose of it is to expand. And so we're actually moving assembly work to the area. And as you can see in the site plan, so we're going to take some of our production lines from Seymour so that we can add more production lines here in Seymour and move them down to Shelton and have that space.
Okay.
So that's our plan.
Right.
Okay, and could you just, in number two shifts, so that's 7 a.m. in the morning to 12:30 in the morning.
Yes, so the intention is to start with one shift currently, and then I needed to make sure that if we need to expand the shifts onto second shift, we would have that opportunity. It would be a smaller shift then, but yep.
All right, so one shift to start, so that's what, 7 to 4?
It's about 7 to 4. I'm sure there'll be, manager gets there a little earlier,
Yeah.
might leave later kind of thing, but.
Okay, and then the truck operation would cease at what time in the day? 7 to 5. I think it says in number 3.
Yep, 7 to 5. That's the plan. Yep.
Okay. Any commissioners have any comments, questions, or concerns about this?
I like the idea.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I would
We
just like to make sure that there won't be any trucks idling before 7 a.m. as they wait for the place to open. We've had that issue before.
Do you see Mr. Samaro, do you see this as an issue that you would have trucks ready to be loaded at 7 a.m. in the morning? Or
No, so we already talked, so we've kind of talked through that a little bit and said that we would, limit our truck hours, to 7 to 5. And we wouldn't be idling any trucks. We have other spaces that, that we use, and we only get deliveries, basically between that 7 to 5. So don't see it as an issue.
Okay. Very good. All right, any commissioners have any comments, questions, or concerns about this?
I'll just welcome them.
Thank you.
So is there any commissioner that would like to make a motion on this application 5271?
I'll make the motion. Commissioner Wadomski.
All right, Commissioner Adamski's made a motion for approval, is that?
Yes.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Go ahead.
Commissioner Kelly, you're second. So on a roll call, Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
Commissioner Wadomski,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion to approve is passed 6-0. So welcome Shelton to Thule Corp.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Sure, we'll see you again.
Look forward to it. Okay, so the next agenda item is application 2124. Dominic Thomas for Gold Coast LLC, 7 Ivy Brook Road, petitioning for a PDD to include 63 dwellings with a mix of townhouses and apartments and on-site parking on a 3.07 acre parcel. First, is there a motion to accept for review?
I'll make the motion to accept.
Okay, and does staff have a public hearing date in mind? Mr. Rossetti?
Not have a date finalized yet, so.
Okay. All right, so this is just a motion to accept for review made with staff setting the public hearing date made by Commissioner Parkins. Is there a second?
Commissioner Ticky will second.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Ticky. So on the motion to accept and staff setting a public hearing date, do a roll call. Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Radomski,
Aye.
Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion has passed 6-0. Next is application 2126, Dogtopia SNS Development LLC at 850 Bridgeport Avenue, petitioning for a major modification of PDD number 2 to amend the statement of uses and standards to permit dog care services, including but not limited to daycare, grooming, training, and overnight boarding. Is there a motion to accept application 2126 for review?
Make a motion to accept it.
Okay, and staff would be setting the public hearing date.
That's
So
correct.
from
And
Commissioner Kelly, is there a second on that motion to accept for review?
Commissioner Ticky will second.
Okay, and on that motion made by Commissioner Kelly, seconded by Commissioner Ticky, Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Ticky,
Aye.
Commissioner Radomski,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
chair votes aye. Motion has been approved 6-0. So
Madam
staff
Chair.
will inform the commission of the public hearing dates for both.
for those taking notes, those hearings will likely occur at the end of December or in January.
Okay. So we have a little bit of time.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're
I
good.
believe the applicant for Dogtopia would like to make a brief introduction if the commission would allow it.
No,
No?
no, we are
Okay.
going to take it all at once.
Makes sense.
More appropriate that way, I believe. So, okay, next is public portion. Is Mr. Rossetti, is there anyone from the public that wishes to address the commission on any item not on the agenda?
If anyone from the public would like to speak up, please do so now, but doesn't look like it.
Have to raise their hand?
Going once, going twice.
Okay, seeing that there is no one from the public that has indicated they would like to address the commission, we'll move on to other business. And the first is a request for a soil and erosion bond reduction from 35,000 to 10,000 for application 2006-20 Waterview Drive. Mr. Rossetti, you have any comments for the commission regarding this?
Sure, just briefly. So this is a project that was completed by the Cinto Group over in this area, in between Mercantile and Empty Lot. There's now a nice big building here. The site is 90%, 95% stabilized. We just want to make sure the vegetation sits in nicely and everything is stabilized over the winter time. And then come springtime, if everything looks good, then we will release the rest of the bond.
Okay, does any commissioner have any questions for Mr. Rossetti about this? Nope. Any commissioner like to make a motion on the application to approve a request for the soil and erosion bond reduction from 35,000 to 10,000?
I'll make the motion.
And Commissioner Amato, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Second,
Second from Commissioner Kelly. So on the motion to reduce the bond from 35 to 10,000 for application 20-06. Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Kelly,
aye.
Commissioner Wodomski.
No.
That's a nay. Okay, and Commissioner Harger votes aye. Motion has been approved by a vote of 5-1. Next on the agenda are the comments. The only other one is that I have is that there was an SEDC meeting this morning, but there wasn't really anything significant that I could pass along to the commission. And finally, as I commented at our October 12th meeting, there have been questions as to whether or not the commission will be returning to in-person meetings. And I had indicated at that time, I felt it should be a matter that should be taken up after the November 2nd election and after the new commission is sworn in. So would staff please have that on the agenda at the December 14th meeting for discussion? That would be the first regular meeting of the new commission. I'm in the meantime, staff is working on the 2022 meeting dates, I assume.
Yes, we are.
Okay,
Second Tuesday and fourth Wednesday is what we've got penciled down for now.
okay.
Third Wednesday, subject to, what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, at the next regular meeting with the new commission, we will discuss in person versus remote.
Right. Okay, so that'll be on the December 14th meeting. Commissioner Kelly, what comments do you have for downtown subcommittee?
Yes, I hope everyone got the announcement that there's going to be a walkthrough on, was it 502 Howe Avenue this Friday at 4:15. And also there's going to be a downtown subcommittee meeting November 30th, which is on a Tuesday at 9 a.m. And that will be announced where we're going to have the meeting before that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you have the time but not the place.
Correct.
Okay. Any questions for Commissioner Kelly? Okay. Commissioner Amato, any comments from the zoning subcommittee?
No, but I think we had a good meeting on those signs, and hopefully everybody will find that helpful if we can make sure the sign applications get submitted timely enough to do that.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Are we going to stick to that 1 month for the sign applications? I mean, I think that's what we talked about at one time.
Mm-hmm. It just, Mr. Rossetti, you see any problem with continuing along that line?
I don't.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
just-
I've
I
gotten two new applications for signs in the last couple weeks, which I'll be reaching out to the sign committee to meet obviously before the first meeting in December. So yeah, we're kind of sticking to that month ahead of time schedule as of now.
That's
Yeah.
good, because, yeah, and just let the applicants know that if, you know, if they're late, then there's a good chance they'll just get tabled.
Yeah, no, I got a couple on Friday last week wondering if they could be on the meeting today, and
Thank you.
Yeah. Nope, not this time. All right, so staff comments, Mr. Rossetti, do you have any comments regarding the letter of withdrawal for application 2112?
Sure. So this is the application for the contractor storage facility with some retail in front that was last before the commission in June.
Mhm.
We've extended it as far as we can, and then the applicant has also extended us or waived his rights from the Connecticut statute for time limitations, but it's just kind of been 6 months with little action, so we'd like to take it off our plate. And when the applicant is ready to finalize their application, they will bring it back to the table.
All right, so you have an actual letter of withdrawal?
Yes, we do. It's on
Okay,
file.
so we would need a motion to accept the applicant's letter
Nope.
of,
No, they can withdraw at any time.
they can, we don't need to. All right, very good. That makes it easier. Mr. O'Neill, do you have any comments, especially with zoning enforcement?
yeah, so the two sheds you brought up on oh crap, what was the name of the street?
Oh, what?
By your house.
Yeah, around the corner.
Whoops.
Yeah. All right, what about it?
Yeah, so the homeowners weren't there at the time when I went over to speak to them about it, so I left my card in the door. We'll try again. If that doesn't work, I'll send them a letter to let them know that their sheds are not in compliance with the zoning regulations.
Mhm. Okay,
Yeah. that's
any
about it.
others come to mind? What Mr. O'Neill is referring to is that I was approached by neighbors and as to whether or not
What's the name of the street? I can't remember it right now.
Driftwood.
Driftwood, that's what it is. Okay.
Okay, all right, so thank you for looking into that. And anything else, Mr. O'Neill?
There's a lot going on, but nothing to report at this time.
I know you had a stack of inspections that you were doing last week. Nothing.
Yes, most of those inspections were final COs that the building department requires. You know, when
Mhm.
structures are finished, we go out and do the final inspection. So most of them were not enforcement related. They were mostly, you know, structures that we permit and just make sure everything's there where they said it was going to be.
Right, so no surprises.
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you. And next item on the agenda is the notation that minutes will be available for review on the website for October 27th. And then final is minutes for approval for September 29th. However, the ones that were posted on the city's website, it should be a 4-page minutes. I had seen the preliminary ones, but somehow page 2 is missing. So when they were scanned in, maybe pages 1 and 2 got stuck together. So if you were to read the last couple of words on the bottom, page 1, and continue on, you're then going to page 3. So seeing that they're not a true factual representation of our minutes, then I'll ask for a motion to table the approval of the September 29th minutes so that the online version can be corrected.
Commissioner Parkins will make that motion. I actually thought it was page 4 that was missing, but I could be
There-
wrong.
Couple pages. Yeah, the second,
1, 3, and 4 is here. Yeah,
But I'll make that motion to table.
okay. Is there a second on that motion?
second,
Okay, Commissioner Motto is seconding. So on a quick roll call, we have Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
aye.
Commissioner Wodomski.
Jenny, before we finish tonight, I'd just like to make a few comments.
Yeah, I'll recognize you. Let me just finish this motion, okay? And where am I? Commissioner Kelly,
Aye.
and who am I missing? Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Okay, all right, Commissioner Wodomski, you're recognized.
Thank you. I just want to tell everybody, thank you for the 4 years. Ruthie was 2 years with you. And I it was a pleasure working with everybody. I think we got a lot done over the 4 years. We may not have always agreed on some stuff, but I think everybody's opinion does count, and I think it counted a lot of times, and we had some good progress in the city of Shelton. I do just have 2 requests before I sign off for the night. The first one being this is more for Josh. I travel up and down Commerce Drive quite often, and Mr. Cinto's property just past the inline plastics, I think it is. Could we please do something about the water coming across the road before we get to the icy season?
By 20 Commerce?
20 comments, right?
Yeah.
Right next to BTX.
Okay, yeah, the
BTX,
site's
that's it. I'm
been
sorry.
vacant for a while.
We had that problem last year with the icing.
Yeah, could we please do something about that? And second, I noticed the other day that the sidewalks have been begun up at
Fountain Square.
Fountain Square.
Mhm.
During my 4 years, I've pushed, and the commissioners, the rest of the commissioners have all agreed that the sidewalks are an important issue to come down to Mr. Cinto's property at the corner of Commerce and Bridgeport Avenue. And it was agreed upon by all the property owners as we approved projects that once the sidewalk started on one property, we would revisit all the properties and get them to start building the sidewalks to connect it through one big circle. I would love to see the commission to continue working on that. And now that the sidewalks have been started, let's kind of push that through to get them completed the rest of the way in that circle.
Okay.
I'm gonna miss you, Mark, for your advocacy for sidewalks.
Well, I mean, I hate seeing people get hit by cars over there, and it happens a lot too often.
I've appreciated that work.
Walkability is a really significant for residents. That's for sure.
And I want to thank you, everybody.
Oh, thank you, Mark, for your participation in the commission. All right, so seeing that there's no other item on the agenda, the chair will declare that the meeting is adjourned as of 7:13 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Have a great time, Jen.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
have a good
you.
time.
I may
Be
pop up on
safe.
the screen.
Be safe.
Thank you.